Everyone, UFC 293, Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya takes place this Saturday, September 9th. We just wanted to give our quick pick and predictions. We're not going to go over the whole card. We're just going to cover the main card. But a couple of fights I did want to point out that I'm kind of interested is Jamie Mullarkey versus John McDessie. I think that's going to be an awesome fight. Jamie Mullarkey brings it every single time, as well as John McDessie. I think this is his 20th UFC fight. Another guy I'm really looking forward to is Carlos Ulberg. I know you're also a fan of his. He's fighting Dawon Jung from South Korea. Carlos Ulberg, another guy, super slick, long, powerful, great use of angles, and can throw down, when can slug it out if need to. If you remember, he had that crazy fight with
Chuku.
right? It was his first UFC fight, in Nzechukwu, sorry, Kennedy Nzechukwu, and they just went at it. So those two I'm really looking forward to. You have anything to say about the prelims or?
The Hakparas fight might be a good fight.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but that might be an okay fight. Jack Jenkins versus Mariscal, most likely going to be a decision in my opinion. But let's cover them. Who's the first one on your list?
For what? The main card?
For the predictions.
Oh,
For prelims.
well, I guess just quickly I'll go over the ones I know about, I guess. Probably Shane Young, just because again I think he has more UFC experience. The Nasrat Hakparas versus Landon Quinones. Now, I'm not too sure about this one. I saw Nasrat is a minus 400 favorite. The Quinones guy is actually not that bad. So, I don't know. Sometimes Nasrat is a little slow. He doesn't, I think, do well with people that circle around him. So honestly, I don't really have a pick for that one. If I had to bet on someone, maybe I'd bet on Nasrat just because he's the more experienced guy. But I'm not really. I don't know if he should be a minus 400 favorite. Jamie Mullarkey, John McDessie. I think Jamie Mullarkey should get this on. What do you think? I know you're a big John McDessie fan, though.
I'm a Desi fan for some of the fights, especially the one with Bahamonis, right?
Yeah.
That was a awesome fight. But no, I'm gonna go with Mularkey on this one. Mularkey is a striker. He's got power. He's got speed. I think he's more technical. McDessie might be a smaller guy here, but I don't think he's as powerful as Mularkey, but he does have heart. I think Mularkey will be able to land his punches, kicks, and should win the fight. I'm not sure if this is going to be an early stoppage, but
I don't even know if it's going to be a stoppage because John McDessie is pretty durable. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm going to go with Jamie on this one.
Yeah. Also, yeah, for the Jack Jenkins Chepe versus Chepe Mariscal, also a tough one. Chepe, I think he's only had one fight in the UFC, but pretty tough, hard-headed guy. I think you just have to go with Jack Jenkins just because of the winning streak is on and all that. Probably gonna go with him.
Yeah, probably maybe also better wrestling, right? He's not a better wrestler.
Yeah.
Mariscal, I don't think he's as well rounded as Jenkins. Just
Yeah.
my opinion.
And then Carlos Ulberg versus Dawon Jung. I have to go with Carlos Ulberg. Like I mentioned before, he's very rangy, great use of angles, moves well, counters well. Like remember he knocked out that Ukrainian guy. Um, Iha, what was his
Igor,
name
yeah,
again?
Igor, yeah, something.
Ihor.
Yeah.
Ihor. He knocked him out. Um, you got to go with Dawon Jung. I know South Korean people, they have very, very hard heads, very strong chins, but I think Carlos Ulberg will put him away in the second round. What do you think?
I I'm going with Carlos here, but if you want to make a prediction here, so yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. If
Just
you want
because also Donald Jones has been put away before and
Mhm.
hasn't been shown to be super durable. So I don't know. I think Carlos will finish him second, third round. But let's go. Let's go ahead. Just jumping right into the main event, the main card. Sorry, not the main event, but the first fight is Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. Um, Honestly, I don't know. I'm very split on this fight. I think I want to go with Anton, even though he's Anton, even though he's on a 2 fight
Oh,
losing streak. First of all, he lost to Jailton Almeida. We know how that guy, he's a light heavyweight beating up heavyweights. And then he lost to that Brazilian guy. Well, let me look up his name real quick. Petrino, Vitor Petrino. That guy's
Right.
huge.
Yeah,
That
the
guy
guy.
is just walks through everything.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like Costa. He's just
and Tyson Pedro, I don't know what it is. Sometimes it just feels like if he's not, it just feels like if there's not a favorable matchup for him, it kind of feels like he just not in the fight. He kind of gives up. He didn't look good in that last fight against Modestas. He looked, I thought, horrible to be honest. He was super slow, was
did
not
did.
no output from him. I think I watched Anton maybe fight one time. I think I'm gonna go with him to be honest. I don't know. I just don't like if it's not a favorable matchup for Tyson Pedro. I don't think he's gonna. He just he doesn't have it in him. I don't know.
That's probably one of the hardest ones to call here. That one in the Tafa and Lane.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna go with Pedro on this one, Tyson Pedro.
yeah. It's a hard one. Either way, I think it should be a fun fight. Let's move on to the next one. You just mentioned Tafa and Austin Lane. It's funny because if you look back, so their first fight ended in an eye poke, right? I think it was 2.5 minutes in, but Austin Lane was look,
He was bringing it
he was
together. Yeah,
beating, right? I mean, he looked a lot
yeah,
faster. He was
he
landing the
was
bigger punches.
faster. Yes, he was faster. Correct.
And then on the betting line, Justin Tafa was like a minus 300, minus 250. I'm not really sure how they got to that. Maybe they're just thinking like Justin Tafa.
Well, I guess maybe the power. They look at
That's what
the
I'm thinking. Maybe the power.
he has. Yeah, but Lane is not a bad grappler actually. All right, we've seen him grapple.
I
I don't know if we
yeah,
will be able to grapple here, and but he should be able to keep the distance and move. But I'm gonna go with Tafa on this one here as well.
yeah, it's a very tough one. I think Tafa, but I don't think he should be such a big favorite. Austin Lane, I think he's from NFL, right? He's like an NFL player, defenseman or something like that. So
Yeah, yeah. I think he,
pretty
yeah.
big, strong, athletic guy himself. But I'm not too confident in this one, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Usually I'm confident, not in this one. Let's go to the next one. I wasn't looking forward to this as much, but now after that press conference, I really am. And I'm talking about, of course, Manel Kape versus Felipe dos Santos. Felipe dos
Yeah.
Santos. This is props to dos Santos. This is I think a 2 week notice, a 3 week notice for Felipe dos Santos. Also, he's from Oliveira's gym. I'm not sure if you knew that he trains with Oliveira and all those crazy guys. So this is going to be a crazy fight. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go with Manel Kape. I think he is. I think he's the. Well, it's hard to say the more well-rounded guy, just because I've only seen one of Felipe dos Santos fight, and it was like a crazy back and forth. You could find that on YouTube. That's like the only fight I could find from his. It was a crazy fight. He won, but I think ever since after he fought Alexander Pantoja, I think he's looked very good. He knocked out, of course, Ore Osborne. He beat up Jalgas and David Dvorak, who he beat with with almost no effort. I thought he looked great doing it. It's hard to pick a guy like Felipe dos Santos. We don't know much about him, not much tape. What's your assessment?
Yeah, there's not much from him. I know he fought in the LFA. I know he's been in multiple promotions,
Yeah,
but yeah, with that we don't have much info on him. Yeah, I'm going with Manel on this one. I just don't understand why is Manel upset about him specifically. I mean, I understand he's upset about Kape out of France, and
I
all that.
no, I don't
I
think
don't I
he's
don't
yeah, I don't think he's anything against Dos Santos. I think he's just a very intense guy. But the one thing we could also say about maybe point out about Felipe Dos Santos, Felipe, I don't know, I keep saying Felipe.
Felipe.
Again, yeah, Felipe. Like I said, like I mentioned before, he does train with Oliveira and in the Shooto box, and all those guys have a awesome Muay Thai style, amazing jiu-jitsu. He is also 2 inches taller, and I believe he also is 2 inches, has a 2 inch longer reach. So that could play a part into this fight for sure. I think we've seen Manel Kape before, stuck at range, right? Like against Mateus Nicolau. We've seen him kind of outranged before, even though that was a split decision. But Manel Kape should win. And yeah, I thought the press conference was hilarious between him and Adesanya and everything. Uh, but let's move on. We have the co-main event. We have Tai Tuivasa versus Alexander Volkov, and I'm just gonna come out and say I think Volkov is gonna just beat the crap out of him. Like I think second, third round TKO, some sort of
So yeah. We usually don't predict the outcomes
yeah.
to that degree, but I'm gonna go with the TKO on this one here. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a little unfortunate for Tai Tuivasa, another huge Russian guy, yeah, for him, two in a row.
Yeah, Tuivasa is a shorter, he's a stocky heavyweight, lots of power in his punches. But I think Volkov will be able to use his reach and striking to keep Tuivasa at bay and eventually land the knockout. Um, I think I know Volkov made a lot of changes to his approach. I mean, he was criticized heavily against after his loss to Gane,
Yeah.
where he was like he honestly thought that he was winning the fight, and I think part that was part of the corner, that was part the attitude, and I know he hasn't parted ways with his coaching staff, but I know he trains in Vegas now, and
Yeah. Yeah. He does train in Vegas. That's right. I don't know exactly with who. I do remember them saying that he trains in Vegas. I don't know with who. The only
yeah, and it's not the institute. I
I
forgot.
know there is the Extreme Couture. I don't think he's there because I haven't heard I haven't seen any videos or heard anyone say he trains in Extreme Couture. It could be the that PI or maybe
No, it's not the
I don't
PI.
know.
It's not a PI, but
Yeah, but I
yeah,
guess in any case, it is good to know that he is changing. He does understand that maybe his corner failed him in the Cyril Gane loss, and he needs to improve. But I think the reason I'm so confident in Volkov is first of all the front kicks, right? The reach in general. Then we have the front kicks. We've seen Tai Tuivasa heavily effective with Cyril Gane against the front kicks. Volkov also knocked out Walt Harris with that front kick. We know he has a very good front kick.
yeah.
Uh,
The last fight with Romanov is another example.
yes, exactly. Also, Volkov, people say Tai Tuivasa has power. I think Volkov has more power than him, to be honest. I mean, the way he
In
uh
jabs, especially, right? His jabs
the
are
way he
really
the way
heavy.
he just walked down Overeem, yeah, with a jab, the left hook. I think the left hook put away Overeem, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember ever Overeem being put away like that.
his
You could say
jabs
he's
are
a
really powerful jabs. Like, yeah.
yeah. And it's just a bad matchup all around for Tai Tuivasa. We have also seen Volkov lose to Derek Lewis, who kind of is like a Tai Tuivasa-ish, right? Kind of style. But again, I think Volkov has you know,
Well, I think Volkov is uh, they're at least 30 pounds heavier now,
yeah.
a lot stronger. I mean, he's posted a lot of videos of him training and doing heavy lifting. It's not the same Volkov since
Yeah.
that fight. Yeah.
One thing I also will say is I did see people mention that Tai Tuivasa should kick Volkov's legs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really remember him kicking too many legs.
I
I could
don't
be
think
wrong.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Even Gon didn't really risk kicking him too much because so
Well,
Volkov has a background in karate, so that's his
yeah.
that's his
Well,
background.
I was more of saying from Tai Tuivasa. I was saying that some people like some of the commentary team, they were saying that Tai Tuivasa's approach should be to kick Volkov's legs, which I haven't seen him do. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen Tai Tuivasa kick anyone's legs. So I think his approach probably would be to just brawl it out, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah,
gotta brawl it
probably.
out.
Yeah, I mean, cut the distance, just like what he did with Gon, right? Like to try to, just go for it. Of course, it's risky, but that's still. I don't
It's
think
his
he.
only it's his only way to win, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah, let's move on from the co-main event. We're gonna go to the main event. Adesanya versus Sean Strickland, of course. This is for the middleweight championship.
yeah.
Also,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, I think Sean Strickland is just completely outmatched. Even though I'm a big Sean Strickland fan, I find him uh he's a very funny guy, funny interviews, puts on good fights, I think sometimes, but Adesanya is just again longer, more weapons in the arsenal, right? More,
technical striker
yeah, just everything.
to reach advantage over Strickland, has more experience in big fights. Um,
There's no way Sean Strickland is gonna do what, let's say, what Alex Pereira could do, right? Like just being out of sight of space. Sean Strickland doesn't throw leg kicks. I saw a stat where I could be wrong, but I think it said only 10% of his strikes were to the legs. You know, no body shots from him. There's no wrestling from him. There's no, knees in the clinch. There's no elbows. I don't know. I think he's just he doesn't
there's
have the.
not a lot of diversity in Sean's game. Yeah,
It's just
that's
boxing,
sure.
straight boxing.
Yeah, it's just volume and it's and just pressure, volume, pressure. But Adesanya can move in the octagon and 20 rounds. It doesn't matter to him. The guy doesn't get tired. The guy is really awesome. I mean, there's nothing bad you can say uh, uh, about him as a fighter. This guy is solid. Um, yeah, I mean, the only way, I guess, the path to victory is just, I guess, would be similar to
Yes.
last, right? Just try to corner him, just pressure him, and
You're gonna
it's
have to
gonna
do
be
a Gastelum did to Adesanya, just nonstop go after him and throw big left hooks, but don't leave yourself too open, of course.
it's just gonna be taking risks. The only
Yeah.
it's hard to predict um whether it's going to be a decision or some sort of a TKO,
No, I
KO,
think he puts him away. I think by the
fourth
third round,
round,
I
third
think
or
third
fourth.
round. I think the leg kicks are gonna add up. I think the leg kicks are gonna open up the body. The body kicks are gonna open up the head. Eventually, he's gonna catch him. I think if Adesanya can put away a guy like, he's put away some good guys, right? Costa, Pereira, Whitaker. I think he should be able to put away Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland, he's not like a Romero where Adesanya's not going to open up with him. He's gonna strike with him. I think he's gonna find an opening, and
Yeah, and Sean doesn't have the explosiveness, right, of
yeah, he
Romero.
doesn't have he does have volume.
Yeah, at least, and he doesn't have explosiveness at Cannonier also. So that's
Mhm.
why Adesanya was just kind of outstriking them at the distance and was happy with it, and he got a decision. But
Yeah,
here, he has nothing to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about Sean's explosiveness. Um, just think about the last fight Sean had with Abu Sufyan. Like the first round of Abu Sufyan, right?
yeah,
Imagine having that type of fight, for 3 rounds. I mean, because Sean lost the round one, right? And Abu
yeah.
Sufyan,
I would say so.
if he gassed, I don't know if it was gassing. I don't know if it was. Most likely it was pressure because felt like adrenaline dump, like that guy Guskov in the
Against Vulcan last week.
with
Yeah,
Ozdemir, right? It was very similar, and it happened in a similar moment, right? Like like when they were in wrestling, they went down,
yeah.
both got up, but the one to get up, Abu Sufyan just completely dead. completely out of gas, and that's usually means pressure, and that usually means adrenaline dump. At least from what I know. I mean, it could be that his gas tank is completely crap, but
Could be, but one thing we know is that that's probably going to be the way that if it does go to, I think Adesanya could do what Abus did, right? Like if you want,
yeah, like
that's what you're
for
trying to say, right?
multiple
For
rounds.
5 rounds, he could just
Yeah,
do the
he could
front
do
kicks,
that.
leg kicks.
He could do that nonstop. He can do it for 20 rounds.
And I felt like Sean Strickland didn't have an answer for those leg kicks and front kicks either. If you remember, he was just taking them.
He didn't. He didn't.
So a guy like Adesanya is definitely going to be able to do that with a lot more precision, with a lot more power, with a lot more, a lot longer, right? He's not going to gas, and he's going to be able to mix in question mark kicks. He loves the question mark kicks. I think that's going to catch Strickland sometime in the fight. The question mark kick is definitely, really, to be honest, I'm just trying to think right now, like what Sean Strickland doesn't get hit by. To be honest, like. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Adesanya has got good fakes. He mixes in fakes
Painter, yeah.
with feints with the actual strikes. It's technically they on a different level completely.
The only thing maybe I'll give to Strickland, the only positive, is that he does spar a lot, right? So there is something about people that just spar all day. They do have a different kind of instinctual kind of, I don't know what the word is. They do have like certain instincts, right? Where you only obtain from sparring as much as Sean Strickland does. So maybe he doesn't get finished. Maybe he does go to decision. I think that's the best outcome for Sean Strickland, to be honest, is if he hangs in there and gets a decision. I think that'd be a win for him. I don't know if that's because he's not gonna double leg him, right? Like they're talking about him wrestling. He's not gonna single leg. He's not gonna double leg him. I don't see it. But you never know. I mean, we've seen crazier things. I think if Strickland wins, I think this might be the greatest underdog win. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, interesting to know, how far Sean was able to get under Israel's skin. How does that affect all that crazy talk, right?
I think he's a professional. I don't think it's gonna bother him.
Yeah, probably, most likely.
But I hope it does.
Yeah, we're big Sean Strickland fans. I don't want to hide it.
But yeah, I guess just to wrap it up, guys. Main event we have Adesanya. You could probably put that under if you guys want to bet under 4.5 rounds. Volkov, I think, finishes Tuivasa. Manel, Kape, Felipe dos Santos, I think probably goes to decision. But they both have crazy styles. Could also be TKO. Justin Tafa, Austen Lane probably also is some sort of decision. Finish. Tyson, Pedro, Anton, I see as a decision. I don't know what you think about that one. I think it's gonna be a decision.
I think by Pedro might be able to TK.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So I guess we're very split on that one.
Yeah,
we're pretty split on that one.
It's not a stacked card, but I think there's still a lot of good fights there. They're not a lot of fights that probably don't interest like hardcore MMA fans, even not hardcore fans, but like for example Shane Young, Gabriel Miranda, like right, the Blood Diamond versus Radke. There's a lot of like meaningless fights, I guess, to the most folks, but I think they're still going to be good fights.
I think it's going to be a good fight for sure. Don't think it's pay-per-view worthy, but it is what it is. UFC 294 definitely pay-per-view worthy, so keep an eye out on the prediction for that, guys. That's going to be just a stacked card. But hopefully you guys enjoy the fights. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time, guys.
Enjoy the event.
Yes, enjoy the